Okay, so welcome back. So, what we're actually building, you guys, if you've been following for a long time, you already know what we've been trying to cook up, right? We're trying to work on this platform, right? So far, we basically have the landing page itself, right? We have all this product information here and there, and also we have the shop page. So this shop page basically have all the shop information as well, right? Which is interesting, and they are all very much mobile responsive, and it's really cool. So now what we'll be building today is basically the cart section, right? So this part is what we'll be building, right? When you click on this chart section, so what it does basically, it shows you this kind of display. Currently we don't have any item in our cart. So what I will be showing you guys today is how you can basically implement a very highly scalable kind of carting system like what Shopify uses basically. And we're going to actually be leveraging Jotai as our global state manager, and we'll be using the Atom with storage to basically persist these stores in our local storage. Just for those people that are curious, if you've not used Jotai before, if this is your first time using it, it's actually a cross-platform storage manager. You can use it for both React and React Native, which is cool. And it works really well for both Android and iOS as well as the web, right? So we're going to go back in there, and I'm just going to go over here. I like this so far. I'm just going to click on view, right? So what we're going to happen is when I click on want to, and I want to like add it to cart, immediately I click on this, boom, I get a little bit of notification here. Cart to the bag, product added to the cart successfully. Nice. So you can click up here. You can then see this product in our cart, right? And the good thing about this is the fact that it's actually persisted, right? I can close this out and refresh this. I can even like close off the tab and go to a different tab within the browser and refresh it. You can see we still have the item in the cart, right? So we still have the same item in the cart. So this is actually possible because of the use Atom with async storage, and that's because we basically have a kind of setup here. We have application, we have a cart items, and this is the items we just added. So the same thing we could do for multiple shops. Maybe I can go to shop now and select a different super, maybe this one, and maybe view it and add to cart. So I have my notification, I can go in here, I can see where I have those two items in the cart. So in the subtotal, we show you the total amount in terms of this times the quantity, this times quantity, then we sum it up together, and then we give you the subtotal. So yeah, so without further ado, this is what we'll be building, and let's dive right in. All right, and welcome back. So what we're doing today is very straightforward. So we are basically building out the shopping cart, um, functionality. We just want to make it work, right? So you can actually go over and select the different quantity you'll be needing, and also you should be able to add it to cart. So which we don't have yet. So this would be the kind of feature we want to basically implement, and also there should be a badge here that shows the total number of items, as well as the quantity that you've actually added to cart. Right, so let's see if we already have like a very cool design, but if we do not have, we could just include it by using the Shadcn badge component. And from looks of it, we don't. So yeah, all right. So first things first, let's build out this UI. Right, so when you click on this cart icon, you should be able to see this UI. Right. Okay. So let's work on that. So just going to go to here. I already have the project set up somewhere. So just do YouTube. Okay, there we go. And oh, not that one. There we go. There we go. All right. So here, what I'm going to do is to just obviously open my VS Code right there. Okay. So yeah, I think we basically have all of this set up. Let me rearrange this properly. All right. Nice. So what we're looking forward to is this little component on the top right. So we're going to call this the cart function or the cart section, as the case may be. So you can go to sessions. We have the shop, product detail, and so on. So it's just a general section, I would say, but it's common. It's actually common everywhere. So I'm just going to create a new file. I'm going to call this the cart section. Okay, I need to spell that correctly. Okay. Right, nice. That's what we need. And I can just pin this. And which other thing we might be needing? That relies on the navigation, because in the navigation we have this little icon. So we need to bring up the navigation. So I think that should be in our common navbar. Right, there we go. So I think we have the, okay, so we have a different one. So you can see it here. This is the add icon, this is the card icon. So this one will be responsible for navigating to or bringing up the cards model, right? So we need to like figure out what kind of component do we want to use to be able to achieve this, right? And you can notice it's not a pure model, but it's more or less like not a pop over as well, right? So it's more or less a kind of yeah, an absolutely positioned element. So for us to be able to achieve that, we have to make sure that this is actually, relative, right? Make sure that that is relative. And whatever we have in terms of this section, okay, so this one will actually be relevant to desktop only, right? Because on mobile, we want to just take them to the cart detail page, which is this one, right? Which is fine. So, but then we need this. So for us to be able to do this, we need a way to be able to, display it out in the desktop flow. So there we go. Okay. Okay, so I'll just put it here. No worries. That's the yellow there. So in here, we already have a card section. So this is what we'll be bringing in. So don't forget to import the actual component, right? And the way we want to go about that, we need some sort of, a flag to basically know when to display it. Right, so I'm just going to create that one. So this is going to be show card. So by default is going to be false. So if we have the show card, then we can display it. So meanwhile, we have to have it hidden in small devices, but then we can show it as block in more or less, in desktop devices. Alright, so there we go. So we have the show card section, and we can easily toggle it, right? So okay, so that's just a little toggler that we have there. So yeah, so let's click on this. Boom, you can see it's coming in, right? So the thing we want to do now is I want to make sure it's absolutely positioned, right? So what we can do is we can just come in here. I want to give it some sort of height. Height can be 400 pixel, PG red 500. So let's check that out. Boom, nice, right? So we don't need this kind of behavior. So that's why we need to make it as absolutely positioned as possible, right? So as you can see, what we already have here, it's a block, but then we want it to be absolute. Top can be 4. Can do top 4, right 4. Alright, so let's check that out. Oh, we can't see anything. Okay. Chances are it's not targeting a relative element. Right, so oh right. No right. See what's missing. Okay, that's interesting. So top absolute. Oh, this is actually sticky. Oh, I'll remove that. That's strange. Alright, so let's investigate why that is happening. Okay, just gonna undo that real quick. And maybe the Z index. We have to improve this a bit. Let's do 100 here, Z20. So I guess that is still true for the time being. Okay, so let's create a parent container, and this will be relative by default, and every other thing can go in as the child or children. Okay, so let's inspect this. Yeah, so we have the element here, right there. Stop this to the side so we can track it better. Okay, so nothing seems to be happening, which is very weird. Okay, maybe we can do this from here. Let's let that go. Okay, so let's try from the component itself. Oh, okay, I see. So what we did, which is a bit of another pattern, is the fact that we have the even, but then we didn't specify the block part when it's supposed to show. So you could have done MD block, right? So that should show it, because the position is different from display, right? So let's check it out again. Good. Right, nice. Okay, so we can't really take it off, which is weird. So we need to figure out a very smart way to take it off. So first off, let's grab the width. The width we have here is like 417 pixel right here. So we can go in here and we can do the width 417. This will be our width. So then the height is actually 746. Okay, so the height there is 746. Alright, so it's some sort, it looks like some sort of, there's an overlay though. Right, I don't know if we need to do that. But it depends, yes, it really depends. So let's do top 0 right there. Yeah, so everything is actually at the end of it. All right, so let's do Shadcn. Let's look for some sort of overlay. So there'll be a lot dialog right here. Okay, still loading. Okay. Let's check out the code. Okay. So what I just need though is more of like, an actual overlay. We could create our own custom overlay, which I think will give us much flexibility, right? And yeah, we could do that actually. Okay, so let's go back. Let's create an overlay. So this can actually be, the overlay that we want. So we will need this to be available when there's a shortcut, right? Okay, so let's close this div up. Okay, so what are we going to put within the div? Some class names. That's weird. Somebody's not adding. Oh, that is it. Okay, so this is going to be our overlay. So it's going to be hidden, and a million devices are going to show up, and also it's going to have. Okay, so left 0, right 0 to 0, and then bottom 0. This will allow you to display everywhere. So now we need this kind of color. So this one is actually black, which will reduce opacity. So we can do BG black with opacity of 20%. Okay, so let's do that now. Let's fetch that out. So let's set it back to false. Okay, so we can do a couple of things, right? But this one is still absolutely positioned. Absolute, right? But one thing we want to do is give it a very good z-index. So we can do 99 here. Okay. Hide the screen. There we go. So I think that should actually fix itself using a bunch of these stuffs. Okay, except the fact that I still need a couple of them. So top and bottom might not really make much sense. Okay, we still need the top. Alright, close it out. Okay, so we need to disable scroll in this case, right? We don't want them to be able to, scroll up. Okay, so Okay, the thing with that is the fact that the scroll is not of this component, but of the body itself, which will be tricky. Okay. Okay, so why we even worry about it? There are a couple of things I need to do. I need to be able to toggle off the we need to be able to toggle off this one. Alright, so we're just going to do session card. Okay, let's see. Still trying some errors. Then we should be good. Alright, so let's try that again. Good, 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 good. There we go. Yeah, so the other thing I think we'll be needing here is we can now close it, which is good. We need to be able to disable the scroller, right? So let's see if we can, add a class to that. We're just going to go to page and let's do overflow y hidden. Okay, let's see if that works. No, it doesn't work. Probably this is actually a separate page. Oh, definitely. So this is actually the short detail page. The weird thing is it could happen in any page. Yeah, it could randomly happen in any of the page, right? Okay. That is tricky. So let's see. Okay, so let's check this out again. So I'm trying to think of the proper options we could take, so that we can basically have an elegant match, right? So we need to prevent scroll. We don't want them to be able to scroll to the bottom. So let's see if there's a hook. There should be. Okay, this looks like a very good body scroll lock. Okay, very good. We have 3 now. So I'm going to go into each of them individually and see how it works. Oh, okay. So remove scroll becomes like a component. Okay, just wrap the content. This should be scrollable and everything else would not. Okay, this looks good. This looks good to be honest. Okay, so what I would do, let's look for the installation kit right there. So let's install it. So we are using npm. I have to be sure. Okay, so you're just going to install that package real quick. So basically it has like 6 million weekly downloads, and Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Okay, so let's see how well we can, we can make this work. Okay, we have body scroll lock, which is another great one. And how do we use this? Too many abstractions. I hate it when library goes down this lane. So let's see a demo of it. Oh, good. So we were able to lock the body, right? And this is no longer scrollable. When you toggle off the modal, you can see that the body is no longer scrollable, but everything within the modal. That's good, to be honest. So let's see if our installation is complete now, which it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to just bring it in like this. Okay, so let's bring it in here from the top. So remove scroll, and we're going to wrap whatever we're using within that remove scroll. So what we're using now is this guy. So we want only this guy to scroll, right? Exactly. So we're going to bring everything in here. So we don't need this option. Should be sidecar. Why do we need a sidecar? That's weird. What does the sidecar even do? But we'll see. Let's see. Okay, so that was weird. This is what we have in the documentation. It has no spotted name as sidecar. But that's what they just wrote here. Isn't that strange? Okay, so sidecar. Why is it complaining? Okay, so let's check it out first. Oh, we have to. Oh, we're not using it. Sorry about that. Using npm. It's always nice for you to stick with one node package manager, so you don't have to be using npm and yarn simultaneously. Doesn't do good. So let's reload this. Alright, so it's still loading, I think. So sidecar is not exported. It's not exported from here. Oh, that is strange. That is very strange. because sidecar is just gotten directly from here, which to me was straightforward. Okay, so what I could just do this. Let's do this scroll without needing to use that. Oh, sweet. So you can see we no longer have, it's no longer scrollable. So everything is locked. So if I try to scroll down, nothing happens, right? So I can close that out, click it again. So you can see that it only comes back into the picture when, whenever we want to, we're bringing it up, right? Okay, nice, nice. We need to add a little bit of animation here for this one. Let's just do normal CSS animation. Let's do bounce with a rec. Oh, that's weird. That's the kind of one I wanted. So animate. In. Let's do that now. Nothing much. It didn't do much, but it's fine. Okay, so we normally have in out. Okay, let's keep that one in. Okay. Okay, so now we know that we no longer, it doesn't scroll down, which is good. So small devices, we won't be seeing this anyway, so make much sense. Okay, so we need a couple of things. We need these icons, we need these icons. So we need the background to change to white. Okay, very good. Okay, so that's a little vector. Let's preview it to make sure it's coming in. Let's maybe the group. Okay, this one has everything. So we can export that. Okay, so this would be the cart icon. So just rename that to cart icon. And this one will be to remove. So let's make sure that it's coming into. Okay, so we basically have the cart icon and then we have the delete icon. Right, so I need to bring them into the project. So yeah, you just take them to public images and then I can drag them into the images folder. So we already have cart icon existing. No, which is different from our own cart icon. So we can do an alternate cart icon. Okay, sweet. Okay, so yeah, so it's definitely just going to take in a couple of things, right? So So we don't have any data yet, but we can just create one for demo's sake. Yeah, so just create this data, and it's going to be an array, by the way. We're going to have the image here, or this is going to be product. So we have the product name. And then we need a quantity. Okay, so we can just do one. And then we need the price. So this will just be the unit price. Okay, so similar thing for the other one. So we'll change the name here. And the price is 270. Okay, so the same quantity and all, so that's fine. Okay, so this is what we'll be using to display all of this. So now let's grab a hold of this image. So we can go to our images. So we have so far, okay, we have so far mini. We have so far.png. Yeah, so let's just use the so far.png, it's fine. Yeah, so we use the same thing in the other item as well, but a different product. So each product should have its own specific ID. This will be 1, and the ID of the other product would just be 2. Okay, so basically I have a div, then we have a separator. So we have a separator, then we have the other divs to show the actual products, right? And then we have a separate div to show the title, the subtotal, and then we have a separator again, and then we have a different div with different buttons that shows cart, checkout, and comparison. I don't think we'll be needing this, so we'll take that off. We'll just be needing, these two, I think. Okay, that's good. So we just need the cart and checkout. But honestly, you don't even need a cart anymore. The other thing you need here, in a much realistic sense, is, it's just a way for us to position it in the middle. Let's check that out. Let's see that. I hope it's at the middle like this. Yeah, so just the checkout is fine. Right, just the checkout should be fine. Okay, so that this one will actually contain the the last button. Okay, so let's go back. So the first text we have here is the shopping cart. So we have the cart icon, so we can do /images/ so we have the cart alternate icon, cart auth icon, so that's the one we need. Okay, so let's do it again. Very good. So that was the style of this. This is semi-bold 24. So the pattern of the site is actually 30. Flex justify between. So item center. Alright, so we have the shopping cart. So the distance between here and here is like 36. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the other part we want to do, maybe we should make this functional a bit. So when you click on it, so when I click on this guy, we should be able to see, we should be able to toggle off the cart section. So the only way we'll do that is by taking a prop. Right, let's see where we're using the cart section. So yeah, we just have a toggle show cart. Very good, so we can toggle it off. We need to make sure that that one has a pointer. So on over, we're going to have the cursor pointer. Alright, so when you override, we know that, oh, this is actually a closable field. Nice. Nice. Okay, so now we have that. What else do we need? So we need to be able to display, the items themselves. Okay, so we can do that here. So we need to be able to alright, so we need to look through the products. So this will just be products. We are coming in and do product map. Okay, so the image will actually tell me products that HTML, and we're going to, obviously have a containing parent container. So put that in there. So we have a different divs. This one, first one has the product name. So we can actually pass index as key right there. Alright, so what else do we have? We need the quantity. Okay, so we need the X icon, and then we need the price. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, nice. Alright, so we need to make sure that we put it within a box of that dimension 108, 105. Okay, so what we're going to do is to put this design side by side as what we're building, so it's easy to to navigate. So I just open this up. Okay. Flex. Center. Very good. So the gap between here and here is 32 pixels. So you can specify the gap there. 32 pixels. And this one, we have to make sure that it's bold. It's really not bold per se, but I think the size is just 16. We'll have text number, something like that. Okay. So we need to give this one the color primary. Okay, so let's check it out. Font here is medium and it's 12. Yeah, so I think one other thing we are missing is the X icon. So yeah, I think we're using the close icon. So let's look for delete icon, that's it. Okay, there we go. So one good thing we want to do here is that we want to have the width should be full width and we want to just justify between. Yeah, something like that should be fine. Okay, so remove product. We need to create a function to be able to remove a product from cart. Okay, so this product we could just use them as like the basic state, and then we can be able to change them up, later straight up. Okay, so yeah, so let's have the subtotal. So we have a subtotal, and then we'll be having the total price, right? So this one will actually be dependent on the state, that we have, right? So let's create the basic states right here. So this one will be products, sets, products. Okay, so yeah, so this should be able to like calculate. So this is to remove, that's fine. So we just need the product ID there, which can be a number or string, to be honest. So this will just be compute subtotal. So yeah, we just want to get all the products. So consider the subtotal is kind of easy. So what we want to do is to be able to, have the actual price of everything, right? So we just have a state that we use to manage that, I think. Okay. Okay, so yeah, for us to be able to, change it all the time, we can just do subtotal set. So we're going to have the use effect. Right, and we want to only trigger this whenever the product changes, right? We want to recompute the subtotal. So in computing the subtotal, we can just do const total is equal to everything, right? So we just do so is product dot product quantity times product, the unit price. Right. So yeah, so this is just be the total for us. So we don't want to be returning this on every whatever, but what we can do, we can just set total here. Let total is equal to 0. Total plus equal. So return total. So yeah, that's what's going on here. Cannot find name to the product. That's fine. So whenever it changes, we want to compute the subtotal every time, right? So in here, I can come in here and do set subtotal. Okay, we don't need to return anything. We just set subtotal equal to total, right? And then we can now use subtotal in here. Right, so let's close this out again and compute. You can see it's coming in as expected. Let's go again, boom, there we go. So now what we want to do is to make sure that we spread this around that one. So now let's justify between and primary, so text number right there. It's the same, it just looks different. Okay, font with semi-bold. Okay. Yeah, so this one between here and here is 23. Okay, so now we need the button, right? The checkout button. So the text or the title. So the text there is like checkout. Page white, the over it, pages should stay white. Text black. So border black as well. So rounded 50. So the height is like 30. So you can specify height 30 pixels right there. Too small for 30. Let's do 35. Okay. Or maybe just 40. Okay, so the width is So let's try 150. Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay. So one okay thing we'll be doing, we have to deal with the let's change this to system. Okay. So is the way it's aligned. So you can see from here, it's kind of aligned differently, right? So we can actually see everything matching to the height. So that's what we're going to do. So we have these two sections in the first half. Okay, we have so we have set product, we have the product. Yeah, so we have these two sections, 1, 2 in the first half. So we have these other ones in the second half. So group them in the div so we can be able to, apply them properly. So you can actually, okay, let's add a flex there and justify between. Okay, so flex colon if you don't mind. Okay, so you can see now you have a proper spread, of the element, right? So this is what we have. Okay, so we have 1 and so on. Okay, so yeah, let's play about when we want to remove an item. So give me the product ID. So ID here is like 1, right? So it's fine. So we'll look through the products and look for that specific product. So we're just going to products.filter. So we're going to basically use everything within our power to do okay. We have the product and the one that the product.id doesn't match this one, right? So that's our product. So we'll now set product to the filtered product. So this will remove the product from cart. Okay, so for us to be able to call that function, we need to play around this guy. Cursor pointer and click different card. Okay, so now let's try this out. Chain an error, that's weird. Unclick. Okay, click is not working here for some reasons. Okay, I'm not sure why the unclick handler isn't working here. Okay, let's put it here. He did work, but at the front it wasn't working, which is very weird. So let's remove one. Nothing happened. Phone number void is product ID, right? Okay, so the problem with this is we need to be able to provide some sort of ID, and that ID is going to be the product ID. Okay, so now let's take this off. Boom, you can see that the software has been calculated at the same time. So we take this off again. You can see we don't have any other element. So if we don't have any element in the cart, we should be able to show to the user that no item in cart. So for us to be able to do that, we can do this and we can do this, right? So if product the length is equal to 0, so we can create a div and let's say product and cart. Okay, so let's play. Okay, so we're going to use this flex, justify center. Okay, so text array 400. Sweet. Yeah, so if we don't have any product in cart, we should be able to see that, right? So if we come in here, we have like a couple of products, then we can take them off individually. When I take that off, you can see that the price was updated in real time. And when I take it off again, you can see that we have this no product in cart, and we have the subtotal 0. And then if there is no product, there's no point checking out. So we need to take away that button as well, right? So we need to take away everything here. So I'll just create a div and group them in first. So we can now do if not subtotal, if subtotal actually. Yeah, so yeah, if subtotal, we should display them. Oh, we don't want a situation where we have like 0, 0. Yeah, so what we could do is we could do this. Yeah, to prevent that weird 0 from displaying. Let's take this off, take this off. Good. So we basically have all of this. We don't have any product in cart, and then we can check out, right? So now let's close it out. Let's open it again. You can see we have all of them right there. Okay, nice, nice, nice. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is to make sure that the actual element or the actual thing. So when I click on add to cart, I should be able to add that product and the ID to cart, right? So I think we should be leveraging either using state, or we could be using local storage for this. So it just depends on convenience, right? And okay, so I'm just going to go over the local storage approach because that is very persistent on the browser. So we're going to go to where we have the add to cart button. Okay, so if we have, before we do that, right, we should have like a badge that used to show how many products we have in cart, right? So this should come second. So let's fix the local storage issue first. Okay, so we have the add to cart. Okay. Okay, so this is the first add to cart I think we will be needing. Here you can increment it, you can decrement it, so on. So we're going to have the action here. And we'll add to carts. Okay. Yeah, so we can worry about the quantity. So yeah, we need to like create the object. Payload or so from in here, from the cart section, we have something like this. So we have to mimic the same thing. So quantity will be equal to the quantity from the state. And then the price will obviously be equal to the product's price. Let's see if this product has a price. Okay, so we need ID of the product, also with the price thing. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to check out where we're using this. So we'll check out where we're using the product details section. We're using it here. Okay, this is the product ID. Sweet. Okay, we don't really have like the full product, right? But we do have the product ID right here. Product extra section, product detail showcase section. Okay, so now we need the product ID and stuffs, right? And so params product E. Okay, so we can paste it in here. Product ID. Okay, so wherever it is that we are setting like a list of products, which I think is going to be here or here. So these are definitely our products. Okay, these are the product list. So what I can do, I can abstract this out and take it to constant. And this will be our product. So this would be our product. That's strange. It's not imported, but it's there. That's not comfort. I'm not comfortable with that. Oh, we didn't export it. So yeah, this will be our product. So I can come in here and just put it here. And then we can import it properly. You can take this off for my use. Nice. Yeah, alright, so we'll take this, then we pass it in the product ID. And once we get in here, we should be able to use this product ID to filter, the specific product. Okay. Yeah, so we have the product ID, which is a good thing. And we need the product itself. Product is equal to product dot find just one, and you want to do product dot id is equal to the product ID. So yeah, from here now you can see that the product ID is like not really is a string actually, right, which is fine. Okay, so we have the product ID. So now we can construct this, right? So we have the product dot image URL, and then we have the product name, title, product dot image URL. Okay, good. So we have the quantity, and then the unit price is a little bit tricky. The unit price is the price that we have here, right? So for us to be able to use a proper price, we don't need all of these dots, right? We don't need those dots. We need it to be an actual number. Then it's easy to work with. Then we can use like a library referred to as command number to be able to add some dots or comma to the to the whatever. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at it one more time to make sure that we're good. All right, nice. Okay, so let's go back to the unit price. So the unit price is going to be the number form of product dot price. So yeah, so this would be our product object. So if you're adding to cart, we're adding this guy, to cart. Okay, so right. So the thing is, we could easily just set this to local storage, which is fine. But the problem with that approach is that it will not be real time, because whenever we want to change, the product information and stuff, we want to be able to, we want to be able to um, like reflect the change in real time, right? So we have to use a combination of a state manager, and also we need the local storage or cookies or whatever, right? So what I normally recommend for cases like this is Jotai. Jotai is very easy to set up and it's very straightforward. So I'm going to open up the Jotai docs and you can see the way it is. So I'm just going to install this. We'll be using this. It's actually built on top of Redux, so it's very nice in handling state management for you. So I'm just going to clear out all of this and install. Nice. Can run our dev again. And while we're running our dev, we can actually set things up here. It's very straightforward. It just has to do with you playing with your atoms. So you set your atom, you give it a name, and this name is what you'll be using subsequently to modify it, right? So I can come in here and create an atom. So we could just create a separate file where we have the list of our atoms, right? Which I think is better. So what we can do is, inside of source we already have components and so on, and we have the app and so on. So what we could have here is a new folder called storage. So in this storage, we can actually create a new folder that has to do with, so if we have local storage at the same time, we could have cookie storage and so on. For this one, we just be Jotai for now. So Jotai is just going to, the index should contain whatever we need, right? So I'm gonna copy those and paste it right in here. So in this case, we're going to obviously just create an empty array, and this will be cart item, right? Nice. So the other thing that we might be needing is that we want to be able to interact with the atom itself, right? So there are a couple of things I normally use. There's the use atom, there's use set atom, right? And use atom value and so on. So we can use atom. This way you can actually use it as a normal, the way you use a normal hook, hooks within a functional component. So I'm just going to use that approach. I think it's simpler. So let's do a spot atom. Alright, so yeah, we'll come in here and then we'll paste that in. Needs to be within the body of a functional component. So let's paste it here. Let's do a proper separation of constants. These are constants. They could be a constant, and this one has to be on top somewhere. Nice. Okay, so use atom from Jotai, and this one we have the cart atom. So yeah, the cart atom is what we just created. So we can just do cart just in case you want to use it. In this case, we're not really using it. That's why I hardly use hardly use the use atom hook. So I use say atom. So you can import this from Jotai as well. And this just takes a value, right? So set to cart. You can see. So you can take off this one. So you can set the cart to so now we want to do some things, right? So we already have the product that we want to set to the atom state. We could easily do something like this. Set cart. we could easily do this, right? The thing is, this is not a good approach because this is an object and cart is expecting like an array, right? Which is not bad. But one thing we can do is that we can map. You can check through this array. We get this product ID, and then we replace whatever we have, with this product. Right? I don't know if that makes sense. Yes. What I was saying is, we could just do filtered products. Okay, so product.map. Not really like map, right? Because what we're looking for, we want to modify this part of it, right? So instead of using map, we can do the product. Oh, we need the product as well. Interesting. So we don't really need like this, but we need, anyone we can set in the state. All right, very interesting. I have to think about this properly. Okay. Okay, so I think I figured it out. So there are two cases, right? So we have to account for these different, two cases. So the first case is obviously when we don't have the product, when we do not have the product, already in the cart. So this one will just be like the fresh. It's coming in as a fresh product. And the other case would be when we already have it within the cart. So ideally, we'll be needing a couple of things, right? Instead of using the use set atom, so we just use the atom, right? So we can have to check the product we have in the cart, and then we can set to the cart as well. Just pull that. Okay, so we have the set cart, previous item and previous products. So previous product, then we had a new one to it, which is this product object. Yeah, something like that. This web argument must either have a tuple to be passed to the rest parameter. So it's an array of products, right? So this is actually just the previous product. Oh, okay. That's a little bit tricky because this one is an array of never. So we can't really just spread that product. We could, except if here is an object. It is an array and not an object, I think. So same thing here. Okay, so let's go over again. comment that out. So yeah, so basically have the object. Okay, will that work? What's the complaint here? So argument of type never whatever. Okay. Oh, okay. This is actually of type never, which is very strange. So what I can do is we have to properly type it, right? So the kind of product you get here is a little bit different. So it's of this type, right? So yeah, just over this. So we do the index. And for now, let's call this types, and let's call this index.b.ts. In here, we're going to just include this type, and this one will be I product. So interface, remove the comma. Okay, so any cart item we want to pass in there should be able to have like that specific type. So wherever we're defining our atom, so we can actually say, okay, it has to be an array of product, of I product. Okay, how that works. Okay, so not really on the atom itself, but really on the value, right? So we can actually do a default. So default cat value is equal to okay. So if we override this product, you can see that it's coming with the actual typing of I product, which is fine. Okay. So if we don't have this product already in the cart, so I'll just put a note here. Okay. Carts. Find you're going to have the same thing. If there's no product in the cart, so we want to do this. So yeah, what happens if there's an existing product in cart, right? So I'll just do this one separately. And what they want to do now is that instead of using the product to find this, we are going to use the cart item to find it, right? So we're going to just do this. Okay, so the other thing that might vary or might be different is this, right? So instead of using product from the dummy product table, we are using the one we already have in the cart to influence it, right? To influence it. So the quantity will change, the price is still pretty much the same. So let's override that. Put it in cart. Okay. So this seems to be way off. So I'll put it here. So this we'll use this if we already have like an existing already have the product in the cart. Okay, so yeah, we have this, and then we can set it. There are a few things we can do. We can either just replace it, or we can just remove it and then replace it with a new value. So I need to think about this. Okay, so there we go, we already have this. So we just remove it from cart. Set fresh. Right, so yeah, so what we're going to do is to do, yeah, so for us to be able to remove it, we just need to filter it out. So we have the filter product, and which is not equal to that product ID. And the good thing is we're just going to do this one, set cart equal to all of this, which is a new item, right? So we just want to set cart to this, and then we have products. Okay, so we could, instead of doing it this way, we could just say the newly aggregated products. So we can do aggregate products. So the push. So push the first one. Remember, this filter product does not include that product. So then we just push in. So this is actually an array. Oh, it's just one. Oh, okay. So this is going to be filter. So now this will be an array of products. Okay. So this is actually like an array of all the products, which we can put in there. And yeah, yeah. So we already have this. We could just say, now that we have this as a new array, which is fine, right? So we should look for a way to add a different array to it. So when you concatenate two arrays, you normally have it this way. something like that. Yeah, so instead of even like pushing, yeah, something like that should just work. I hope it works. It is very ridiculous, but let's see. Okay, so we have the side filter product. We have the product object of the products. Okay, I see. This is the best thing we could have done. Object product is equal to the filtered product. So updated products, the push, they will put this guy in there. Yeah. So all I now need to do is to put in the set cut with the updated products. Boom. Yeah, so that should do it. Okay. So yeah, we've not really tested what's going on here, but we have quite a couple of things. Okay, so let's take this off. Okay, so yeah, so anything that we'll be using here will be coming from the carts. So for us to be able to use the atom value, what we can do here is just doing product is equal to use atom value. So now we'll have to specify the atom key, card atom. So we need to import this, okay, from there. So this will be our product, an array of whatever, right? So from card, instead of set product, okay, use atom. Okay, so here we can actually set the product, and then we can use it to fetch the different products. So you can take this off. Okay, all right. So let's test it. Let's tell us what we have. It's been okay. So let's refresh this. Okay, it's loading now. Okay, so when I click on this, I shouldn't see anything. Good. So let's say we want to add one, and then I click on add to cart. Let's click on this. Boom, you can see we have two elements, and this two element is already added to the cart. Okay, which is good. And I just noticed that there's a little bug here, so let's fix that. So there's a spacing between what we have here and what we have with the separator. So that's pretty much very easy. The way we go about that is we need a card section, and then we need to be able to specify the difference, right? So okay, so let's put it here. Okay, so let's take it off. Boom, it's okay. So now, if you notice, what's controlling the state now is no longer the dummy data. I can close it out and click on it again and see that everything is working as expected, like in a real world application. right? So why that is because we are controlling the state now, not with dummy data, but then we're using the Jotai state. So the Jotai state is responsible, for basically managing every aspect of the different atoms that we set and how we modify it, right? So for example, I can just do 3 of these in add to cart and check my card. You can see we have 3 of those, right? This is already part of the state. So we just need a way to be able to persist it locally so that we can be able to have these states persisted, right? So we can remove it as well. So everything is working as expected. Let's do 2. Okay. So now that we have this, we need a badge, right? We need a badge to be able to know the amount of items we have within our cart. So we're going to leverage the Shadcn badge component. I think we have one here. So we'll create a very nice one, don't worry about it. So this is destructive or whatever. So yeah. So what we're going to do is to install. We can install with this command. You can just copy this, copy the npm equivalent of that. Open up um, a new instance of the console. So yeah, so let's install it with the npx installation command, and that's going to take a few seconds. And while we are waiting, we can as well just use the component itself. So now this can actually be used within the navigation, right? So in navigation we have all of those things. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, so these are different icon, search icon, heart icon, the car icon. So in the car icon here, I'm going to include a new badge value. So for those that have, you can use it, so it's completely optional. So this badge value is going to be a number, right? And it's going to just be of anything. So by default it's going to be 0. So if it exists, we can do something else. So what we're going to do is to const cart value is equal to use atom value. This is going to be equal to atom. So we have atom. Oh yeah, we have the cart item. So here we can be able to retrieve the value of the items in the cart. So cart value is just going to be cart value length. So that would be our badge value. So now we can grab the bag. I think I'm using this one. Yeah, I'm take them all in, and the key would be on the outer div, right? So that's fine. So we can make it relative, and what we can do is if there is an icon, a badge value, then we can display that, else we display something else. So what we want to display though is this. So I'm going to copy it from there and have it included right here. So we just include badge value inside. So one other thing we'll do is that if there is no badge value, if it's not it's not up to 1 or whatever, there's no point saying it, right? So if there's a badge value, we do that. Nice. Boom, you can see it's coming in as expected, but now we need to be able to absolutely position it on top. Absolute top 0, right 0. Okay, so right it. Okay, this is your right minus it. Alright, so we can just proceed quickly, and now we want to be able to position it properly, and then we can do minus top 8. Okay, or just 4 should be fine. 3. Okay, so we're gonna do right 5. Okay, boom, there we go. So we can do this, add to cart. You can see we already have one product with a quantity, so nothing changes in terms of the one because it's just one product. So one other thing I would love to check, but since we are not persisting it, I'm not really confident that that it will work as expected, right? So let's do this is another product. Let's do view. Let's do two of this. Add to cart. Boom! You can see it is actually populated, and that didn't work well. That did not work well, right? So we're supposed to have this name. Not really the name. It's product 8. It's not a number, so that is strange, to be honest. Okay, so what I would do, I would go to the detail page, and obviously let's say the product is in cart or not. So likely one of these is going to trigger. Okay, so let's find out which one. So let's dump this thing out. So let's put a console there. Let's clear all of this. Let's add to cart. So we have undefined. That's very weird. Both can't just be undefined. If the item is not in the cart, this is fine. Okay, the item could not be found here. Right, this one was not defined. Okay, so I need to investigate more. Let's get the product ID. Oh no, the product ID is not really like the product 78. Right, oh, 78 is 8. Good. Right, but the product image URL, the product name, and the quantity is okay, it's fine, but the unit price we do not know. Oh, I see. So 80 is basically there, which is good. Yeah, because it's been added to the cart, so I think it's unfair. What we could do, let's remove it and try to add it again. Okay, so it's not in the cart now, which is undefined that we had before. Okay, 8. So let's set product with ID 8. Oh no, we do not have any product with that kind of ID. Remember, our ID starts from 10, right? 10, 20, 30, and so on. Right, we don't really have ID starting with 8 or something like that. So, but then what we can do is to let's do the search. Okay. Oh, this is a different product section. This is crazy. This is crazy. So I think we should just use the same product for all of this. This one has a total of 8 items, right? Yeah, so we can just use products. So let's grab the first state. So let's import this from constants. Alright, so let's slice it and get the first state. That should be, resolve the issue, I think. Let's take this out. Let's refresh this. Okay, we don't have anything there. That's good. It's understandable. Okay, there we go. So you see undefined. Oh, well, you're getting the first state. And is that getting the first state? We have to be sure. What data is this getting? Okay, so a div appeared to be a descendant of P. Oh, that's a typical error. So let's fix that and then we'll come back quickly. So these are all the different P tags that we have. Let's see the one we have like a div inside. So span, this is a P. Okay, that's good. This looks good. This looks good as well. Cannot appear as a descendant of P. This looks good. They all look good so far. Okay, maybe we can move this one. Alright. We have lots of P's. Alright, let's go over them one after the other. Oh, okay, so this is a break tag, which shouldn't be a descendant of P. That's correct. Let's refresh if that solves the problem. If it didn't, it did not. Okay, so let's keep searching. Okay, nice. So there's a P there. There's a P here. There's a different P. There's a P. There is a P. So there we go. So this looks good. not really the problem. Okay, very good. Looking good. Oh, okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. So what we are looking for, by the way, in case you are curious, is wherever we are having like a div within a p tag, which is an alpha pattern. So yeah, we just keep searching. Okay, so I think that is that. If this throws error, we need to. So yeah, it's complaining about product detail showcase right here. Okay, so let's investigate. That was good, to be honest. Not sure where exactly. They gave us some numbering, I think, right here, but where? 29 and 29. And that's just a link. Okay. What I will do though is obviously check where it's used and comment it out. This is how we know if it's actually coming from that component. So I'll refresh it. It's no longer coming in, so that means it has to be this freaking component. We have to keep checking. Oh, the value, I see. So maybe wherever we're using the extra data, whatever. So oh, you can see in here, in the value part, we have a div, right? And when we are rendering the value, it's supposed to be a div and not a p tag. That's the cause of the error. Yeah, so that should just fix it now. Let's clean this out, refresh again, Control arrow. Boom, there we go. So that error is gone. Good, good. Now we can continue with the rest of our debugging. So let's add this to cart. Okay, good, good, good. Alright, so yeah, where are we having our products? Let's see where we are slicing. So data can be the products place. Let's do that. Let's see again. Let's key that out, go to shop. Let's do view and add to cart. Boom, this is okay. Let's go to shop again. Let's pick a separate product, view, and just one of this, add to cart, to product. Boom, you can see both of them are coming in as expected. So there's a bug. So the bug now, there needs to be some level of spacing in between. So let's say the spacing between here and here is 20 pixels. Okay, so shopping cart session. Okay, flex column. Gap 20. So we have some rounded necks. So the rounded nature of this is like, oh, mix they didn't specify, so I can just get so then let's do one rem. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So yeah, those are the two different products, and we have the overall price. Then we can take it off, and take it off, and so on. Yeah, so that should fix it. So we have it now. So we can be able to play around with all of these, add to cart. So what if, for example, I just need one, add to cart. Remember, I changed it to one, so you can see we still have one. Nice. So let's go for a different shop, a different product, like this one. View and add to cart. Check this out. 2 and add to cart. Nice, nice. So this will take us back to the other one that we had, which is this one. Right, I don't know how many we already have for this product, but let's do 2 now. Add to cart. You can see it has changed to 2. Nice. Let's do 3. Add to cart. It has changed to 3, so definitely I think it's this one. Right, so I think it's high time we start having like the proper name for the different products, so we can be able to track them better. So yeah, so wherever we have this, let's change it with the actual product name, so it's easier to navigate, as well as the actual price. Okay, so yeah. So what I'm going to do here, it's very straightforward. So I can just include the products in there. So this specific products, product find, and the product ID. Product. Title. Okay, so yeah, so this is set 3, and this is the price. So if you go in there, you can see the set 3 now, we have it as 3, so let's do 5. Add to cart. If you go in here, we can actually see set 3 is 5, right? So we could modify the image as well, so that we have the real image, right? So so you can copy all of this and take it in here. So this is going to be the image URL. Oh, okay, so that's the mini version, not really. Okay, I think it has to be this one. So let's move all of this. Good. So image URL. Alright, so we didn't give like a width and height before. So we might want to do that now. So the width here is like 425. So we can actually give a width, or we could give an height, right? So let's do that. Okay, so yeah, nice. So we can, whenever we switch between each of the products, we can be able to see the actual picture, actual image right there. And also let's make sure that nothing is too weirdly placed. So just do object fit cover. Nice. And is it rounded at any point? Oh, the edges are rounded. So the roundedness there is like 10 pixels. Okay, so yeah, we do rounded of 10 pixel. Take out of the chain, let's try the over. That's strange. Oh, okay, that's not it. That's not it, to be honest. Just curious. That's not it. Product. Oh, this is the cart section, please. Holy shit. So that is fine. That's fine. So I made the details section. 100 feet cover. Good ball. And then we can now do rounded. So rounded will just be 10 pixel. Okay, sweet. Exactly. So let's check the responsive state. This component. Okay, nice. Okay, so we can take that off, and we already have like 4 of these. Okay, so here's the bug here. This is a mogul shot. It has the same IDs, but for some weird reason, it's coming up twice. It's coming up twice. Okay, let's go back to shop. View, let's add this to carts. Okay, let's go back to Mongo again, which is this one. Oh, except, we have it in 2 different places, right, with the same name, which is weird. So we have to give them different name at least. So product basically has some duplicate names, so we are going to separate those. Yeah, so it's very weird to have the same name. So let's do v2. All right. Okay, so that's for first one. Reverse v2, reverse v3. Okay, very good. a little below, a little below, right? Just randomly like that so that we know that what we have makes sense. Yeah, so that we don't have the same product repeating itself. Very good. So refill on Zen. Okay, Mongo Scape Bony. Okay, so same thing with Pinky. Wow, that sounds so weird. I'll use Hoi. I don't know what that is, to be honest. So Potty Bin. Okay, so yeah, that should be nice for the most for the worst case scenario. Okay, so yeah, even if it repeats in a very like reasonable manner. So Mogo, so even if I go to the other Mogo shot like this and I want to view it and add like 2 to cart, I can come in here and see that we have a Mongo 2 to cart. Let's make sure that the IDs are not the same though. Mongo. Mongo, where are you? There you are. This ID 60. Okay, so the IDs are not the same, which is a good thing. Yeah. So yeah, we have 2 Mongo Scape. Right, so let's look for a different version, different variant of Mongo. Mongo Bini, so view, and let's say we have 3 add to cart here. So yeah, we have 3 Mongo Bini, right? So you can see the one we have there, it's still there, right? So yeah, you can actually just refresh it and everything will go all off, which is not desired behavior. So we need a way to be able to persist all of these in the storage, right? So Jotai basically has a very cool way to achieve this. Okay, so there we go. So now I'll leave a link for this down, right? So I think basically if you're using Jotai, there's a way for you to be able to use the atom with storage to be able to save whatever you're using, right? So for example, you have some sort of atom you want to persist. It's just going to be straightforward, right? So the value of the atom, right, has to be wrapped around this one. So what we want to do is very easy. So we want our cart value to be persisted. And the way we do that is we can go to constant, constant here, not really, storage right here. So we can just import this. So atom with storage is what will wrap, wrap this guy around, right? So instead of being an empty array, we just want to do atom with storage. So it's going to have its name. So a name can actually just be anything. So in our own case is default card value, I think. Okay, so it's missing the following property, so I put a len prop. Okay, so now it's of a different type, which is tricky. Okay, let's think of it. Over that, it's a writable. I see. Doesn't have this type anymore. So if I take that off, it might actually break some other things, but I get it. Default card value. So yeah, we can now use this cart whatever. So whenever we do it, we should have like something populated in local storage. So we just take a note. It will look at our source tab. This thing used to be well arranged, the notes becoming all scattered. So yes, sources tab, and not related to source tab, console, network. Okay, application. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we don't really have like much things here. So maybe we can clear things that we have in our local storage out. To add to cart, we have an error. Card of find is not a function. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. So dark mode use on tone. Dark mode on tone. Oh, the name you want to use to store it in local storage. Yeah, I know. That should just work now. Okay, so this text, and then we have a low, and then we're setting it. Yeah, it should just work. Not sure why it's not working. That's weird. Okay, so can we set an array, can't we? Okay, so, okay, that means I do not need this guy anymore, right? Yeah, so this can just be the cat icon. Not sure why we will need to pass it to an atom again. Doesn't make much sense. Let's refresh this. Do to add to cart. Boom, is that added to cart? Still check our story. Boom, we can actually see it added here. So now we can check in here. We can have the ID, we have the product image URL, we have the product name, we have the quantity, we have the unit price. So if we refresh this, we still have it, right? So it's still in our cart. So this is actually the way, if you check out like Shopify and stuff like this is exactly how how they work. And we just been able to achieve that quite easily without much hassle. You can see we have one. I can go to shop, get a different sofa like this one. Like let's say I need like 3 of this or 4 of that. Let's add to cart. So we have it like 2 sofas, right? So if I come in here, maybe just refresh it. So we'll still be having our 2 different items in the cart, right? So the same thing applies if I go to a different tab and I click on that. You can see we still have our sofa populated, right? So this is what we've been able to achieve today, which I'm very proud of. And yeah. So definitely I'll be catching you on the next one where we actually be connecting things more properly together. And then yeah, so we'll discuss more then. All right, catch you on the next one.